And let me introduce Tonia and Antoniazzi, MP.
Well, this is fantastic, isn't it? As John has just said, this is the first UPA Patients in Parliament event, and I'd just like to congratulate everybody on the hard work in organising today. But again, as John has said, I am a patron along with Paul Flynn of the UPA. I got involved in the UPA last year. A very good friend of mine has multiple sclerosis, and he had highlighted to me the benefits of cannabis as a medicine, and he's somebody that I love very dearly, and I hate to see in pain every single day, and it breaks my heart to see him in pain. And that is why I feel very, very strongly about getting involved with pushing forward the agenda on medical cannabis for, to be licensed, and so that we can have it available under prescription for people who need it. And I think my mother is a great weather thing for how the public feels. She's a 71-year-old grandmother who likes to moan about everything, and the truth is, she knows and she understands now her friends have arthritis. There are people in her community that understand that they would benefit greatly if they had access to medicinal cannabis as well. So, yes, I'm part of the APPG. We just set it up last week. Mike Penn is the chair. We have Dan Poulter, Dr. Paul Williams, Baroness Molly Meacher as well, just to name a few. And I would urge you to go out there and give a message to everybody. And the message is, you've got to tell people that they have to speak to their members of Parliament. They have to arrange meetings with them. There's one thing I learned previous to coming into politics, that you're only 3 steps away. You're not far away. You've got to ask for a meeting with your Member of Parliament. You've got to highlight the cases, and everybody. There are 650 Members of Parliament in the United Kingdom. 650 Members of Parliament would be behind pushing for the legalisation of medicinal cannabis. And there have been high media profile cases. We know for Billy Caldwell, which today, it was absolutely absurd that I was reading in The Guardian last night that poor old Billy has got to travel all the way to Belfast. There's going to be 8 hours in the car, twice a day, to access his medicinal cannabis. This is absolutely ridiculous. It's great that the licence has been gained, it's great, but this is what I am here for. I have got, a grandfather came to see me, and he said, my grandson has got NKH. He has numerous, tens of fits. He is one of only 2 children in Wales with this condition. And then I found out that the 2 children with this condition are actually in my constituency in the whole of Wales, and there are only 15 in the United Kingdom. And he came to me with a piece of paper from the Home Office, and he said, I want you to sort that out. I've been trying to sort out a licence for the last 4 years. And I went, it doesn't really work like that. And then I thought to myself, well, how does it work? And he said, I've been on the phone to them, I have been fobbed off in one phone call, there have been other phone calls where they've been helpful, said they will pass it back to somebody else, and then they get in touch with me, then they'd never get in touch with me. And basically he was frustrated, really frustrated that there's meant to be a system there, and there isn't. I spoke to their consultant neurologist, and basically he was saying that I have so many people that I see that would benefit from medicinal cannabis. But my hands are tied, the research is being done, but around their particular area, it's being done, and the problem is it lies in the area of licensing. And so that is where the problem is. So we are at the beginning of a journey. And it's not just about the high-profile cases, it's about all people who need access to medicinal cannabis having that access. And my aim as a Member of Parliament, and as a member of this group, is that there will be clear and transparent ways of accessing medicinal cannabis, because that's what you deserve. I was having a conversation with one of the Tory whips, and I said, well, how are we going to get it? I was saying, you know, this is the most important thing we can do for people in the United Kingdom, because it's unbelievable that it gets major and it gets taken abroad, but we don't have access to it. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I've only been here a year, and I recognise that the research and the work has already been done a lot by my right honourable friend Paul Flynn, who unfortunately can't be here today, but I know that we'd all send him our best regards because he is a wonderful, wonderful man. But also the APPG on drug reform. So, you know, we've got the Right Honourable Chris Blunt and the Honourable Geoffrey Smith, along with Baroness Molly Picture, who have done an incredible amount of work on this subject as well. And I recognise that, but what concerns me, as I've said, the process of obtaining a licence, the way the Home Office has exerted these constraints onto Billy just goes to show how they're not fit for purpose. We've got to sort this out, and it's got to be sorted out ASAP, urgently, because it's, you know, the human side of imposing these restrictions it's inhumane, absolutely inhumane. So I've said that's what I'm looking for, that's what I'm working towards, and I've said about my friends, consultant neurologist, just going through my notes to make sure I've covered everything. Other parents are getting in touch with me. But like I say, lobby, get in touch with your MPs, get councillors involved, get everybody at every level involved and share that message. And we're specifically looking at the issue of medicinal cannabis and the prescription in this group. And one of the messages I've got for you is that is what it is looking at specifically. I know that the bigger issue about drug reform is one that's very, very close to my heart. And I have to say to you, with a different hat on, that our drug policy, you all know, is not fit for purpose. But I cannot and I will not, I do not want to see those lines blurred for the purpose of medicinal cannabis. We are making great, great progress, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be standing here and talking to you, because in a year so much has happened, and it's people like the United Patients Alliance, it's all other organisations that are involved that are pushing the agenda forward, and we are going to do that and make sure that we do it. But change is happening, start of a journey, patient voice is very important, and I think particularly today, this is highlighted by you being in Parliament and not outside in this heat. So, and that's why I urge you all to lobby, 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 tell your story, don't give up. I know there's a lot of people here to speak to tell their story, but the more we spread the word, the more we get through to people like my mum and her friends, who maybe not be reading the right newspapers, who maybe not getting the right information, because opinion out there is changing, attitudes are changing. We're at the beginning of a very long journey, but we are making progress, and I will not give up the fight for medicinal cannabis and the prescription, and on a bigger note, I will not give up the fight for drug reform as well. So thank you very much.